Good evening, Astro fans. We have a treat for you on this opening day of 2014 as the Houston Astros are going to take on the New York Yankees at home here at Minute Maid Park, hoping to improve on their dreadful last few seasons as they've been slightly improving, just getting more and more younger, more potential, finally stacking up on the team, and it looks like they're finally going to be able to do something this year. There you see the New York Yankees manager Joe Girardi and the lineup he's put together for this opening day matchup. He's got Jacoby Ellsbury leading things off, then Gardner, then Beltran, Teixeira, Mccann, Soriano, A-Rod, Derek Jeter, and Kelly Johnson to round things out at the bottom of the order. And there we take a look at the opening day starter for the Houston Astros, Jared Cozart, the young gun, 6'3", 195 pounds, 23 years old, the right-hander. He throws hard. He doesn't have the control as much as you would like from a pitcher on opening day, really. He's not too much of an opening day pitcher, but the Houston Astros are going to give him a shot because that's all the Houston Astros have is youth. And that's going to bring up Jacoby Ellsbury, the lead-up man, to start things off for the 2014 season for both of these teams. And Jared Cozart is going to see there with the wind-up and the pitch, and that's going to be a high fastball. Looked a little close to the strike zone, should have been a strike, but the umpire is going to squeeze him and call him a ball. And the 3-2 count is on Ellsbury as Jared Cozart's going to wind up, throw the pitch, and that's going to be hitting the shallow center field. George Springer's going to dive for that one, but he's not able to get to it in time as Alex Presley is going to have to back him up on that. Hit the cutoff man, but not before Jacoby Ellsbury is in for his season opening triple. Not very much other ways you can start off better than that, other than a home run, obviously. And that's going to bring up Brett Gardner with a man on third with a 3-1 count. Cozart's going to throw the pitch, and that's going to be a ball, as he's going to put a man on third and first to start things off here with no outs. It's not a very good situation to be in for the youngster, Jared Cozart. And that's going to bring up Carlos Beltran, the newly acquired outfielder for the New York Yankees, who finished last season with 24 home runs and 84 RBIs, and that's going to be an inside fastball. He's not going to be taking any of that. He's going to be trying to start things off patiently, and he's going to turn on this one, put a jolt in that into right field, and he's going to give that a go for a little bit, but that's too out of the park to do anything about that one. Carlos Beltran hits a 3-run shot to start off his season for the New York Yankees, giving them a 3-0 lead here. As you can see, Cozart is not very happy with himself there, as he's already dug himself into a pretty decent-sized hole here already here in the top of the first. And now walking up the plate is the first baseman, Mark Teixeira, who is coming off a very disappointing season for him. Not a very Mark Teixeira-like season. He was injured for most of it, and he's looking to rebound here this year, but not with that at bat, as he's going to line that one pretty much right to George Springer. He's going to have to give him a little bit of chase, but not too much. And Cozart's looking pleased because he's finally got an out. And now that we finally got it, let's look at the defensive alignment for the Houston Astros. We've got Castro behind the plate, the big man, Chris Carter at first, Jose Altuve at second, Stephen Drew at short, Matt Dominguez at third, left is Presley, center is Springer, and right is Fowler. And that's going to bring up catcher Brian Mccann, the newly acquired catcher that is. And he is looking a bit weird without that beard and without the hair, as he's looking bald. And it's not the very Brian Mccann I'm used to seeing. And he's going to start things off in the air with a strike fastball. And he's going to give him another pitch, and that's a ground out to Chris Carter, as he's going to take that one himself to first base. And that's going to be 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning, or the top of the first, excuse me. And that brings up Osvaldo Soriano, the veteran. He's going to start things off here. 3 pitches in the at-bat, already swinging on the 0-2 count. And he's going to be taking that one for a double, as he saw George Springer was taking his time hitting the cutoff man, and he took advantage of that, showed he still has the speed that he used to have earlier in his career, and he stretched that single for a double. And that's going to bring up Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, A-Roy, whatever you want to call him, and he's going to line that one right back to Cozart. It's going to hit him off his thigh, but he's going to be able to recover and toss that one over the big man at first, and that's going to be the end of the inning for both teams there, but not before Carlos Beltran is able to give his team a 3-0 lead with that 3-run blast to right field to start things off for his season. And there you see second-year manager for the Houston Astros, Rob Porter, in the lineup he's put together for these Houston Astros. As you can see, leading things off is Jose Altuve. Then we've got Fowler, Castro, the big man, Chris Carter, George Springer, Jesus Guzman, Matt Dominguez, Alex Presley, and Stephen Drew rounding things out in the number 9 hole. And there you see the opening day pitcher for the New York Yankees. Is going to be 6-time All-Star, the big man, 6'7", 285 pounds, the left-hander, CC Sabathia. He's starting to get up there in age. He's not going to be as dominant as he used to be in his earlier careers, as he did win the Cy Young in 2007. Believe it or not, that was many, many years ago now. Wasn't around the corner like you think it is. And he also has a shaky ERA on opening day, so hopefully that's going to work in the Astros' favor. And there you see the defensive lineup for the Yankees is CC on the mound, Brian Mccann in catching, Mark Teixeira at first, second is going to be Kelly Johnson, short Jeter, third A-Rod, left field Gardner, Ellsbury in center, and right field is the newly acquired Carlos Beltran. Leading things off for the Houston Astros here is going to be the little man, the second baseman, Jose Altuve, and he's going to jack that one to left field. That's back to the track, but it's only to the track, as Brett Gardner is going to haul that one on the warning track, as Jose Altuve is not able to get enough of that in to get out of the park. And that's going to bring up Dexter Fowler with the 0-2 count, and he's going to take a swing at that one, and it's going to be as a line drive ground ball into the left field, and he's going to get a single off of that one. And that's going to bring up Chris Carter, the big man, the first baseman, and I am very high on this guy because he does strike out quite a bit. He struck out 212 times last season, but he does have 29 home runs and 82 RBIs, and he is pretty much the only power threat for the Astros as he grounds that one to Derek Jeter, and he's going to take the short way out, throwing that one over to second as Kelly Johnson steps on the base and ends the inning for the Yankees there. Now we pick things back up here for the leadoff man, the second inning with Derek Jeter, and he's going to line that one into the ground over to Mac Dominguez, and he's going to throw that one over to first to the big man, and that's going to be the first out of the inning for the Astros. And that brings up Kelly Johnson, the second baseman, and with the Jared Cozart wind-up and the pitch, he's going to pop that one up over to second baseman Jose Altuve, and he's a very solid defensive second baseman, so he's going to be able to get that quite quickly, and he's going to haul that in no problem, as that's just a can of corn for him and mostly pretty much everybody else. And now Cozart's going to be given the windup and the pitch to Jacoby Ellsbury as he's going to strike him out in the ending there, as that's going to end the top of the second for the Astros, and they're going to head on into the dugout, and they're going to try to get their bats going around here in the second inning this time. After a George Springer lineup, that's going to bring in Jose Guzman, the DH, and he's going to put a good swing on that one, drifting that one all the way back to the track, but that's only going to be to the track as Jacoby Ellsbury is able to get to that one. And that's going to bring up the third baseman, Matt Dominguez, and he's going to put a good swing on that one into him. That is back to the track, to the wall, and that is gone! Matt Dominguez, home run for the Houston Astros, and that's going to make this a 3-1 ball game. As you know that Joe Girardi isn't very happy about that one. CC is going to be a little rattled after that as well, but Matt Dominguez has got to feel good about himself there, getting his team the first run of the season, first run of the ball game, getting his team on the board, and hopefully that's going to be what they need to get something started here in this ball game. But unfortunately, they're not able to capitalize on that home run by Matt Dominguez, so that's going to bring up Brett Gardner with a 2-1 count. He's going to take a swing at that and line that right up the middle of George Springer, and he's going to get that one in as quickly as possible, as he doesn't want to make the same mistake he made when Alfonso Soriano turned that easy single into a double because he didn't hustle. And that's going to be an easy... Oh, no, it's not an easy ground out to Chris Carter, because Chris Carter let that go under his glove, and that's one thing that I'm not high on Chris Carter about. Since they are on the AL, they're going to have to improve their first baseman over there somehow and make Chris Carter the DH, because that's really all he's good for. And now that brings up Mark Teixeira with a man on first and third, and he's going to put that one right back to Cozart, and he's going to toss that one over to first just to get the easy out there. And now we've got one out man on second and top of the third here, and that's going to be a rip into center field, and Springer is going to toss that one in. They're not going to challenge him, as they're going to hold up on first and third there. And now Alfonso Soriano, the veteran, is back up for his second time around, and that's going to be right to Chris Carter. He's going to get the out at second, but they're unfortunately not able to turn the double play as Brett Gardner and his speed is able to beat up that one. And now that brings up Alex Rodriguez, the power hitter, and they're able to strike him out to end the inning, as Cozart's got to be happy about that one. The Stros weren't able to get anything going in the bottom of the third, so we're going to pick things up here in the top of the fourth with man on first and second, as Gardner's going to ground that one to Chris Carter. He's going to try to go for the double play, but unfortunately, that's going to lead to a kind of an error. I'm not really sure if they've ruled that an error, but he's going to chuck that one home, and they're not going to be able to score on that play. So now first and third, and that's going to be a single into left field, as they're able to score one and make that man on first and second with 2 outs, and that's going to make this a 6-1 ball game. Now, top of the fourth, man on first and second again, and that's going to be right to Stephen Drew, as he's just going to throw that one over to second and get the easy out there. Not so easy, as the man on second almost did slide in safe, but you know what I mean, as they're able to get out of that inning. And now the Houston Astros are hoping to do something with their bat this time around, get things going for their offense, as they haven't been able to besides that Matt Dominguez home run. And now we're bringing up George Springer, the rookie, the 19-year-old, the number 3 prospect overall for the Houston Astros, as he's going to line that one into center field, and that is going to be a single and George Springer's first career major league hit. And he has got to be super excited about that one, as after all the hard work, all the high school, all the minor leagues, after all that hard work that he's put into this game, he is finally in the big leagues, and he finally has his first major league hit recorded there against one of the better pitchers in the league, I may add, as CC Sabathia. But unfortunately, we're not able to do anything after that, and we're going to pick things up in the top of the 5th here, and that's going to be a jack back into deep left field. And that's going to be gone. That's a Brian Mccann home run, his first as a Yankee, his first of the season. And as Brian Mccann is jotting around those bases, Jared Kozart knows his time is up. He's gave up 2 home runs already. He's down 7-1, and Rob Porter knows his time is up as well. So he's going to take out the man, Jared Kozart, and he's going to bring in the big right-hander, the hard-throwing right-hander, Matt Albers. And after Albers is able to retire the first 2 men he faces, he's able to get the ground ball here to shortstop, as Stephen Drew's going to fire that one over to first for the out and the end of the inning there. But unfortunately, the Astros aren't able to get things going on in their bats as usual, so they got man on first and third. That's going to be a curveball in the dirt, and that's going to score the man from third, as they're not able to tag him out in time. And that's going to make this game an 8-1 ball game, as Matt Albers is not happy about that one, and neither is Rob Porter, as he's going to make a pitching change and bring in the right-hander, Brad Peacock. After Brad Peacock's able to work his way out of that inning, that brings up Chris Carter with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, and he's able to rip that one in the left center gap as he's hustling around the bases, as he slides into second for the double, his first double of the season, his first hit of the season as well. But unfortunately, as always, the Astros aren't able to get anything on the board after that, and now that's a line drive up the middle to George Springer in center. He's going to gun that one home, and Jason Castro with the beautiful tag, the beautiful throw from George Springer, and he's showing why he's in the bigs with his arm, with his bat, all around the field. He is in the bigs for many, many reasons. So first and second, 2 outs. And this is going to be the pitch, and that's a strikeout. Ball in the dirt. He's going to have to throw over to first, but he does end up getting the out anyways, and that's going to be the end of the inning. Now in the bottom of the 8th, we have Jose Altuve at the plate, and he's going to put a jolt in this one with 1 man on base, and that's a home run, making this an 8-3 ball game. Putting some life in the Astros right there, as Jose Altuve is going to jot around those bases. The little man, only 5'7", but he's able to put as much power as he can with his little 5'7" frame over the left field fence. And now that's going to bring up George Springer with nobody on, none out, and he's going to be first pitch swinging here, and that's a line drive up the middle, as that's going to be a single for George Springer, as he has 2 hits on the season now, 2 major league hits in his first major league ball game, and that's going to be a great day for him. And now we've got George Springer on first, 1-2 count on Jesus Guzman, and he's going to jack that one over the left field fence, and that's going to be a home run, 2-run shot. That's going to make the ball game 8-5, as suddenly the Astros aren't looking too far behind, as they've got a chance to turn things around here as Jesus Guzman trots around the bases. And now in the bottom of the 9th with 1 out, we've got Alex Presley at the plate, and there's the windup and the pitch from Matt Thornton, and he's going to rip this one right in front of Brett Gardner for a single, and now we've got Alex Presley on first in the bottom of the 9th, hoping that they can do something to get this game turned around and possibly come back and win this one. And now that brings up Stephen Drew with a man on first, 1 out, 1-1 count, and the windup from David Robertson now. He's going to ground this one to the second baseman, Kelly Johnson. He's going to turn that to Derek Jeter, and that's going to go over to Mark Teixeira, and that's going to be a double play. And the Yankees are going to come away with this one. First win of the season, and goes to the New York Yankees over the Houston Astros. As you can see, Derek Jeter and Kelly Johnson celebrating there. Beyond a very solid pitching performance from CC Sabathia and a very shaky pitching performance from Jared Kozart, and the bats didn't really warm up for the Houston Astros till later in the game. They can only hope that's going to lead into the season, as now they've got warmed up into the season. Hopefully they can take a few games from this Yankees in the series. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, as that's it for this ball game. Yankees 8, Astros 5, and I'll see you Astro fans next time.